He didn't say that, but maybe he's just like, I just know she's not going to care, so why bring it up?
Yeah, well, then fuck. She's not going to go flying fuck about the Edge of Sanity Spectral Star on the wrong speed.
Probably not.
Do you like this album on the right speed?
You know, Edge of Sanity was a band that I heard much later on in my metal career, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I was already, all the Swedish stuff that I liked that I've already said a million times on this channel, but I guess the new Osters, you know, the Dismember, the Carnage, the Graves, the Entombs, you know, yada, yada, yada. That was all the stuff that I followed. And then, you know, then when a lot of the other Swedish bands that I heard, like a little bit after that I really liked, which didn't have the Swedish sounds, which you had bands like Deranged, you had the gore grind band Regurgitate. I was always attracted to that stuff. So then I kind of heard this later, and it was just kind of like, I never got the note. I'm just kind of like, okay, cool. And that was it. So I don't really know it. I've heard it for sure. And I just remember hearing it. I'm like, it's okay, death metal, but I never gave it a full sit down listen. Because like I said, I heard it. I probably was in my 20s already when I heard it.
Well, what do you anticipate here? Do you think Cricket's album, The Chipmunks, or raging Brazilian thrash?
Probably more towards the Brazilian. You got to remember, too, since it's Dan Swano, another thing, too, when I heard this, I was already a huge fan of Infest Dead, which by his account he thought was a turd, I guess. So when I got to hear Edge of Sanity, I was kind of hoping for some more Infest Dead. And I'm like, doesn't sound like Infest Dead. Yeah, because they only did the two, like 2-3 releases, the 2 EPs and the full-length. So.
Yeah. Interesting. Like the buzzsaw on a higher tuning.
This sounds good.
Yeah.
Like the riffs and shit, you know what I mean? They sound cool. See, this is more long, a little more Brazilian.
Sounds like Sabina Clausen from Holy Moses. Finished with the Dogs era. Oh man. Leave a comment if you don't agree. Holy shit, man. That's what that sounds like to me. Here's on reg. Oh wow, that's like way off.
Yeah, it's a much slower band, yeah, in general. That's what I remember being more of a mid-pace.
No, it's got that
steady,
stuff.
yeah.
But like, I didn't remember what song it was.
That's a dirty fucking record.
Well, that's gonna be this new thing here at the new studio. We could see shit.
Yeah, the lights are bright as shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sweaty down here, too.
Down here?
Yeah.
A lot cooler in here than it is the old place.
Yeah. Now, this is a record I know very well.
Yes, well.
First Grave album.
Just talking to Jorgen for a future
Did you post
episode.
that yet?
No. Yeah. That's going to be a while. At least from the recording of this. Well, with our new show schedule, things are...
You have that many in the oven?
No, but things are bi-weekly.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it's about a month ahead, usually. And what do you think? Grave. Into the Grave, right?
Yeah.
Is this going to be into the chipmunk layer?
It's so heavy and it's so mid-paced, and then the low vocals. Definitely not chipmunks. Maybe kind of more like, remember when we put on the Dia side and it was like kind of more like barking hardcore vocals? Maybe like that. Remember that? Where Glenn's vocals kind of like, I predict more so that. This definitely does sound weird, because I know this album very, very well.
The speed's not too crazy, though.
No. Well, no, because it's kind of like, I don't want to call it a slow album, but it's kind of like, you know what I mean?
Fast, slow.
Yeah, fast, slow. Yeah, that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
You see how it's not slow, but it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, fucking that guy's vocals are awesome.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I always I always said that out of all the Swedish bands, the big big four or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah,
Grave was always the more brutal one. That's why I was so bummed when they started. I mean, like I said, I like the second full length. After that, I did not like Solace at all. This the third. It's been years since I heard it, but I remember when I heard it, I was like really disappointed.
Dude, all the Swedes have a swallow the snake without going full swallow the snake.
Yeah, that's not full swallow the snake. It's not that drastically different.
Which is hilarious in hindsight because, all right, Desultory Swallow the Snake. Third album.
Yeah.
Is like, everybody knows, is like pretty much full on grunge. And so it's just like, oh, wow, like at least, Entomb was still metal. Grave, same deal. Grave especially. Soul. Maybe Hating Life. I don't know what was like way more.
Hating Life, that's when they even changed their logo and everything. And I remember not liking that at all either. It's been a long time since I heard that. But then, long story short, is after Hating Life, I want to say, did they break up or they're just gone for that?
Oh, I have no idea. I think they broke up.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but then they came back.
I should know. I had a
no,
fucking extensive conversation.
Then they did that album called Back to the Grave, which at first I kind of liked it, but as years went on, as my adult years went on, I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
Not really feeling like it's not terrible. It's definitely better than Hating Life. I thought it was better than Soulless too. But I was like, not really feeling it. Just like kind of like now the Putrefaction side. That's
we're putting on the Putre because we gotta fucking hear.
That's my favorite demo of all time.
Well, we gotta hear.
And for the 12-year-olds that don't know, Putrefaction is Grave. It's just a side project that they did at the same time during the Grave demo era.
What's the third? What song just starts out with?
Well, I don't think it starts directly like that, but I'm pretty sure it's the third one.
Okay.
The last track on there. But I mean, it's
like T-Rex just has his meal or something when.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Yeah. But I don't know how it's.
That's why I want to hear it on the wrong speed.
Yeah, this is one of the greatest
Oh,
LPs.
man.
This is like one of my. I mean, this is your copy, but this is one of my favorite like LPs in the collection.
Really,
the Corpse demo, which was the first. Corpse was before they were called Grave. For the people I don't know. And then they changed their name to Grave.
Yeah.
So technically Grave's first demo, which was 86, which is crazy because that's even before Nihilist did their first demo. Nihilist's first demo was 87.
Yeah, well, you'll get to hear all about it soon. Let's, Crickets, what do you think on this one? This one's going to be crazy. That's why I picked.
I have no idea. Because this demo was so, like, just.
It's crazy. It's crazy on the right speed.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I have no idea what it would sound like. I never tried it. Ever.
There it is.
That's the title track.
It's still great.
Oh, it's the greatest demo ever, man.
It definitely sounds weird though on the.
Way too fast.
Dude, like what's? I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I said.
I gotta do that for the audience. We'll see how good Reap Dog can put it at the beginning of the song.
But remember when I was talking about like death metal bands coming out nowadays, and then let's just put another album that sounds like Left Hand Path. Like, why not try to put out an album that sounds like this demo, like the recording sound and the vocal? You know what I mean?
Because it's fucking sick.
I mean, granted, you're like, oh, you're ripping a band
Dude.
off. You guys are all just ripping off Carcass, Dismember. You're just ripping off fans, Morbid Angel. Like, why not do something that hasn't been ripped off at least? If you're not going to create a new,
right?
It's not like try that.
Yeah.
Why is it? But what I'm saying is, why is it literally? And when I say literally, nobody doing that.
I don't know because nobody's heard it. Maybe they don't like it. I have no idea.
But I'm not just talking about this. There's other examples too. Like
there are totally. Like why doesn't anybody sound like
Lord Worm?
Yeah, or a lot of stuff. But I gotta let the internet, the 15-year-olds or the 12. I don't know their age gap.
12, 15.
That haven't heard this. Dude, you gotta just hear that, like, cause yeah, you're right. Like
it's fucking great. The Painful Death.
I mean,
guys dying painfully. What do you want?
I know. It even distorts.
Yeah.
It's like, cause even that's what you're like as an audio nerd. That's what some of the stuff you're talking about that you like about it is the qualities of like.
Yeah. See, I'm not an audio nerd at all, and you know me, I'm nowhere near like you. But something like that's distinguishable.
That would be like clearly they had a good mic and they went to a studio, but it'd be like our old mics where like they're good mics, but then you didn't like there's settings that were.
I'll bet you any money though, as much as I don't give a shit if they admit it or don't admit it, liked it or didn't like it. But I would bet anything that when they went to go record that wasn't the sound they were going for.
No, that's what I'm saying.
When it came out, they're probably like, "Man, this sounds like shit." And J-Dog gets you, is like, "This is fucking great."
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
You know
like that would be something like you would hear that vocal performance that they're and then like, try that again because it peaked, it distorted at the
like,
top.
that's what I liked.
And it's like, yeah, because you could have your gain
That's
too
what I'm saying,
high,
I
like shit like that.
Something like a
So-
death metal band or something like that, or even black metal, the douche band. Try to get something that don't get it right, get it wrong. Like try to get it to sound fucked up, but like in a good way.
I think that'd be the anecdote. Is like, yeah, don't try to get it right,
Get it wrong.
or wrong.
Not wrong.
I mean, now I guess try to get it wrong.
but wrong in the sense to where it doesn't come off like this is just stupid. You purposely did this, and this just sounds like ass.
I know exactly what you mean.
But get it wrong but in the right sense.
Right, because wrong could also be wrong in too many ways.
Because what everybody says, like, for example, it's like I would say use the old saying, like, think outside the box. Don't just do what's the norm, do what's not normal.
Yeah, like dick handle blower.
I mean, well, not only that, but kind of like, from what I understand, that's how, like, when Left Hand Path came out, that's how they came up with that. Did I get the story right? They came up with that guitar sound on accident. Like, it wasn't planned, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, because it's like just they turned
There's
up the shit.
yeah, exactly. I've heard the story. I forget exactly what it was, but from what I understand, it was on accident. But then they liked it. Oh, that sounds awesome. Like, but that
What I
wasn't-
can assure you of is a lot of the Swedish sound is from the sunlight of what defines that sound is not just the buzzsaw. It's also the fact that everybody knows it was like really, really small. And so they always say like, so they had to like record the toms and stuff separately, or because they used the electronic kit, or Grave's like the only band that actually put like real toms, or like Left Hand Path and stuff is like fake. So there's like even programming in there, where like and you can hear those certain attributes in certain recordings, much like and then much like you can hear with Morris sound and so on, and then you can hear the difference. Not so much Sunlight, because Sunlight was just the same producer and studio, where the Morris sound was Scott Burns, Jim, like so. Then you can hear the different producers at Morris sound. At least I could tell.
Yeah.
But so it's just a lot of stuff like that too, though. But like, yeah,
Well,
getting it wrong.
Speaking of more sound and sounds and stuff like that, back to what we were talking about too. Did you ever notice too for death metal bands and how there's just a bunch of boring shit coming out nowadays? Did you ever notice like you got all these death metal bands that sound alike, right? That so many bands ripping off. Why is it that there's not another? If there is, somebody please tell me, because I've never heard it. Why is there no other death metal album that's vocally sounds like the first Deicide?
Yeah.
Do you know of anybody? I can't think of a single band.
Or I can't even think of anybody that's trying to like do the slowly rewrought, no vocals. Just,
No, there's not.
Like
There's
no
not,
one's
but
even trying to do that.
There were certain bands that kind of. Who's a band that came along recently? That's no Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah.
I have heard a couple bands recently, and that I'm like, oh, that kind of sounds like John Tardy. And fuck, who am I thinking of? But not just like slowly rot, but similar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the first Deicide, even like Glenn, admittedly, like on the second, third, fourth album, he doesn't even sound like the first album no more.
Yeah.
His vocals, like even just his mid-range vocals, which weren't very deep, and then his highs. Why aren't all these bands that are coming out that are just trying to sound like the millionth thing for the millionth time?
Yeah.
Why don't you try to do that? I mean that can't be that hard to replicate.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I wouldn't think so.
So it's like, why not try to do that, people?
Yeah.
Instead of put out another fucking Dismember, because we haven't heard that.